Hey guys, welcome back to the first installment of the series that I'll be doing just before the launch of the 115 cap. I'm going to try to make these videos as future-proof as possible, like I mentioned. So I'll just be going through a different amount of content, or I wouldn't say content, but specific things that can help make your character stronger that most DFO players should know, but newer players might not know because they're just systems that have been implemented and built upon over and over time, and it can just get a little bit confusing for new players. So with this first video, I'm going to cover the most important one and the first thing that most players should do. If you're either leveling your character without an event, you're gonna have to get this set manually, and if you are leveling this character through an event, typically they'll feed you a box that can give you such gears like this. However, the new players might not understand what to pick and how to get it. So first and foremost, what is the buff swap equipment? Well, buff swap is a secondary set of equipment that you can place into this book here, I guess you can say. It's called buff enhancements. You just open up your inventory and it's right there. And then you'll see your buff skill. So for my case, which is Inquisitor, my skill is called Fervent Faith. Each class has a different skill and it's completely different, and the max level is also completely different for each class. So just it's all the same unless you're a supporter. I do want to point out, for supporters, you do not equip this gear at all, and you do not go through this system in order to have a buff for your class. If you're in a party, that's in a party setting. If in your solo, I believe you do still want to buff yourself and run through the content. However, if you're so with supporter, I made a mistake here. If you're supporter, equip this set and buff yourself and run through the content. However, if you're supporting a party, meaning you're doing the content in the 4-man or in the raid or whatever, do not equip this set and just buff like normal. So quick mistake there. Back to normal. So just very quickly, what is this gear, what does it do? So essentially, the buff swap gear increases the level of your buff skill. So each class should have a buff skill somewhere in their skill window, and for mine specifically, as you can see, it's master level 10. I can't level it over 10 in the skill window, and so we need to push this even further. And how do we go about that is that we use the buff swap set. Just very quickly here, I'll show you a damage comparison between having the skill on and having the skill off. And as you can see here, it's really obvious that having the skill on significantly improves your damage by a lot more. So as much as this system seems a bit weird, it is 100% very important and very necessary for you to push your damage way higher. So just very quickly, I'm going to go through my set very quickly and show you what are the main important pieces that contribute to actually leveling this. I would also like to point out that some of these equipments does cause, I did swipe for them, but at the same time, if you're a diligent farmer, you can absolutely farm for these and save up gold to buy them in the auction house. So first thing first, the most easily obtained piece of gear, which is the equipment set. You can get these from Operation Hope. If I get it wrong, please correct me in the comments. However, to this day, I believe you can still obtain them from Operation Hope manually. However, with most events, the game will probably just give you a box, and I'll just show you an image of the box here. Now, so very quickly, I'm just going to go through each of the pieces and tell you which are the most important ones, I guess, and which are the easiest to obtain. So first and foremost, the equipment side. So with the equipment, you're going to be farming just the fragmented abyss set. This set, as you can see here, the 6 set gives you increased critical attack increase rate, and the 9 set, it gives you +1 to the skill. So that's already +1 here. That's very good. Now, the most important part of this whole equipment side is your sub-equipment, earrings, and magic stone. So these will have a separate set effect, and there is going to be 3 options you can pick from. it is, in my opinion, as a complete newbie, someone that's new, and someone that's, or even someone that doesn't intend on swiping, you just go with the encroach set. There's no reason to take any of the other two sets, I believe, unless you are a Giga Whale, or if you are just trying to pump a lot of money into this specific character. Because each of the other sets gives you a +2 instead of +3, and then the most expensive one gives you a +1. However, in return for lowering the level that increases your buff skill, it gives you a extra little bit of damage. However, in my opinion, the damage is quite negligible, as in it's a very expensive investment to get a very minimal return. So as a complete newbie, just go with the encroach set. It's the most friendly and easiest to push your level higher, and each one of these levels is quite important, so just be mindful of that. Secondly, what other things can apply to leveling your buff skill? Titles. So this is a title that's a +3 title. As you can see here, it has all classes level 20 to 25, all skill +1, so that's really +1. And then you can see that at the very bottom it has Fervent Faith +2. Now, I want to quickly mention here, as I'm mentioning these all skill level +1s, is that everyone's buff skill will be at a different level range, so please be careful what you check. As you can see, mine is here in 20, 25, and it's right here. So 20, 25, it's eligible, that's why it's buffed. For other classes it might be 10 to 15, for other classes it might be 30, 35, I'm not too sure. Most of them should hover between 10 and 25 if I remember correctly. However, just double check your skill window, just look for the buff itself. If you can't recognize it, just look at the icon from here, and then just go in here and just look for it. Pretty easy, pretty simple. Anyways, moving on to the next part is your avatars. So with avatars, you need a rare clone top or bottom. It doesn't have to be cloned, but it has to be part of the rare avatars. It has to be the top or bottom. And the ability option, as you can see there at the very bottom, highlighted just underneath the green emblem socket ability, you can see Fervent Faith skill +1. As for the bottom, I don't have it on. That's because if I do have it on, I'll hit the cap. So if I wanted to, I could switch this skill to be +1 skill, and then swap my Encroach Abyss set for the Warp set. But once again, that's something to do later, and well, not later, but you know, it's something I can do to buff up my damage by a little bit. I just haven't got around to it. Anyways, rare clone tops and bottoms aren't easy to come by at all. So this is a gate to get your set skill level up. So this is something you can work on over time. Oh, I forgot to mention something pretty important about rare clone avatar sets. Mainly with the plat emblem slot with the top and bottom. So completely forgot about this, but with the rare avatar set, specifically top and bottom, there's actually the plat emblem slot. Now with the plat emblem slot, you can actually put in the extra skill, and this will give your buff skill a +1 again on each slot. So top and bottom can slam these two in, and then with that you can just have another +2, meaning you can swap off to the distorted set or the warp, not the warp set, but yeah. This is once again really expensive because ideally you do want to have a spare rare top and bottom, so that you can put them into your inventory instead of having them equipped, so that ideally you actually have the ability or the plat emblem to buff your actual damaging skill instead of a buff set skill. So it's something to keep in mind, but if you're a beginner, don't worry about this. This is something to optimize and push even further later down the line. But for now, it's applicable to people who want to push. But for now, just don't worry about it. Just for the plat emblem slot, just put in whatever, and then with the ability, swap it into your buff skill is my opinion. But there's different ways to do it. And moving on. And then the last thing that buffs your skill is a creature. So this creature, as you can see, is a buff creature because, as you can see, underneath Priest F there, you can see Valor Blessing, Fervent Faith, Oracle Players, 7 Deadly Sins. That's all buff skills. Finding a creature like this is pretty easy. It shouldn't be too expensive if I remember correctly on the auction house. Ooh, that's the wrong auction house. So let me double check if there's any currently in the market as time of recording. There is none. Wow, that is a bit surprising. Well, if there's none, my opinion is that you just wait for a package that comes along with creatures that do give you the buff swap skill. I'm not sure when they come around, but usually with every patch there's a new package, and with a new package there comes a new set of creatures that might do this. If you play the game over the year, I'm sure it will release at least once or twice in the year. So just wait around for it, you'll probably get it for sure. Pets like these, or creatures like these I should say, shouldn't be too expensive in my opinion. They should go just right around underneath 20 mil if I remember correctly. I bought this one myself for about 16, oh sorry, started there, 16, 17, 18 mil, around there. If you're wondering if that's a lot, that was back when I was grinding on about 4 or 5 characters every day. That's about, if I remember correctly, close to about a mil after repairs and after everything per character. So it didn't take me too long to grind up the amount of gold, but I will warn you, it is quite a bit draining because you are going on a lot of different characters and grinding. But I'm not sure about gold inflation now and how that's going to change. So if the prices do change in the future, just be a bit mindful, do a bit of research, and it's a bit rough. So I will definitely say getting the skill up is a bit pay to win, because of course if you swipe for the rare avatar set, boom boom, it's done, boom, the creature's done, boom, title is done. I myself bought the creature, swiped for the title if I remember correctly, and this rare set was given by a anniversary event last year, or whenever I played on this character. And then this equipment set was just given to me. If you've noticed that my weapon is different, and once again, it's one of the things I've completely forgotten to mention for some reason, the weapon itself also gives a level. And now, this, as you can see, this weapon is purple compared to orange, because this weapon is part of a completely different set. I wish I can compare it easily, but it's fine. So the normal weapons and set is part of the Fragmented Abyss, whereas this one's part of the Dark Fragmented Abyss. And you might be wondering, is that any different? Yes, actually is. So with the Dark Fragmented Abyss, I believe it increases the amount of damage you get from the set itself being equipped. And in the end, it is extremely, extremely expensive. So let me very quickly search it up. So this is post-editing paper sheep here, because I realized there's a lot of mistakes in this video, but I'm trying my best. But anyways, for this part, the Dark Fragmented Abyss is a ridiculously low drop chance set that can occur in, I believe, the weekly dungeons, the raids, and legions. As a new player or beginner player or more casual player, don't worry about getting this set at all. As you can see, the weapon itself costs about 16 mil, and the prices can vary depending on number one, the class. Class popularity unfortunately affects these things heavily. So if you play a more popular class, more in-demand class, the weapons and the sets and the pieces are just going to be more expensive in general. And if you're going to play a less popular class, it's also going to be really rare, because it's going to be really expensive as well, because it's just more rare. So realistically, you're never going to see this set unless you swipe a lot. Even, I believe, the general consensus for this is that even Giga Whales struggle to find it, or Giga Whales will only be the ones that will afford it, because they will just swipe the packages, sell the packages for gold, and then just buy the entire set. So don't worry about the Dark Fragmented set, in my opinion. It's something you can optimize super far down the line, and it's something personally I don't ever intend on doing ever on any of my characters. I'm just not interested, and the damage increase, in my opinion, is quite negligible, so it's not something I'm going to stress over. But outside of that, I'm going to very quickly move on to just some basic more things to cover up the rest of the topic, and to soon wrap up the video. But anyways, here's Operation Hope. So, Operation Hope. What is Operation Hope? Well, Operation Hope is a pretty old content right now, in my opinion. It's been a couple of years since it's released, but it's still your main way you're going to get your swap set. So this is the place you're going to get it if you are leveling a character manually and events doesn't give it to you, This is probably the best way to get it. Outside of that, it will take you probably across 2 days. So I'll just very quickly show you how to get there, number one, and then what it's actually like. So very quickly from Serious Room, you're just going to go to the right here, to the portal. And then assuming you're doing this when you hit max level, what you're going to do is go to the Field Asia. You're going to go to the left here, and you're going to go to the docks. And in the docks, you're going to go to Harlem. And when you land in Harlem in the black market, you should be on this spot here. And you can see this character, Spell Deceiver Zasura. So, of course, she's in the Christmas theme right now, so recording, but typically she just has an arm and whatnot. And she will be the NPC with the shop to sell you the set. Now, the first thing you should get is probably the weapon, because the weapon will always give you a +1 flat straight up increase, which is really nice if you don't drop it. And then, once again, my recommendation is always go for the Encroach set, not the Distorted or Warp, unless, you know, you have the creature, the title, you have the rare avatar set. You know, you have all these things that can pad. You have the plat emblems to pad levels. Just stick with the Encroach set. And then this is where you can get the armors. So all the armor pieces. So, you know, you have all your different classes, all the different characters. And then here is accessories. Oops. So all the different accessories for different classes. Now, aside from the NPC here, if you go to the left here, you should get Operation Hope. Now, I know that before this, there is a need to accept... Oh, accidentally started the cutscene. But anyways, I know if you're a new player, or it might be a character-to-character basis, there is a need to complete a pre-quest. So, very quickly, it should be in, I believe, recommended. Oh, just click on all. And then I should believe it should be in side story. And in one of these side stories here, there should be a Operation Hope. I really hope I could actually see old quests, but I doesn't believe I can. Doesn't look like I can. That's a shame, but anyways, it should be on side story, and there should be a quest that says side story Operation Hope. Complete the quest, it should bring you everywhere you should need to go, and then you should unlock the dungeon on the left here. So if you go in, just go in. I'm just going to very quickly run through it. Every day you can enter about 6 times, I believe. And it should be a really quick dungeon. Don't have to worry about any pickups. If you can see there on the right, it says Kashpika's Underground. And you can see there's the quest scroll there. You want to follow that quest scroll because it gives you bonus rewards. And the bonus rewards can just accelerate the speed at which you get. Now, once again, the maximum amount of time you're probably going to spend on these dungeons is going to be about 2 days. If you get very unlucky, well, I wouldn't say very unlucky, I'll say average luck, TBH. Because you do need to farm all your pieces, and the boss does drop a decent amount of the currency for you to trade it in at the shop to get your set. It's a really quick process. You just have to do it at the start, and then you don't have to do it anymore. Once again though, this is why, in my opinion, you should always start the game on an event, because the game just gives it to you for free. That's why it's always recommended to start on an event. But anyways, as you can see here, there's no more scroll. That means you basically are on the right path, so at this point you can just pick wherever you want to go. It doesn't matter. If there's a preference for you, or you discover a preference for yourself, feel free to take on. I don't really care at this point, because I've done this so much times. So I just do whatever I feel like at the time. But anyways, just run through it very quickly. Should be a little bit stages. Bosses aren't too hard. You might struggle if you are unfamiliar with the class and if your gear is really doo-doo, but I don't think you're going to struggle at all. If you do, that'd be a really big surprise, but I think at that point you just get a different gear. So as you can see, the boss dropped the Disordered Magic Abyss Stone, and then at the end reward it should give me a set. Yeah, there we go. So very quickly, as you can see on the right there, daily entries is 5-6 because I just completed this run, and I get 60 stones. Alongside that, the boss dropped me a piece. Of course, this isn't actually a piece I can use, which is a shame. But the most important thing is that with every run, you get a box here. This box allows you to select any piece. So with 12 pieces of gear, 6 runs a day, it only take you 2 days. So it's free as hell. This is a very easy thing to set up, but a very expensive and time-taking process to max. But that should be the end of Operation Hope. I hope this is easier for you to understand, and I'll very quickly move on to a summary and end the video there. So very quickly, I'm going to give you a summary, and I'm going to tell you everything that's been covered in this video, but very quickly, so not in detail at all. Buff Swap set gives you a lot of extra bonus damage, crit chance and whatnot. This is your equipment, your accessory set, your weapon, your title, red top and bottom, plat emblems top and bottom, and alongside your creature. Basically, newbies, please stay on the Crouch set unless you want to swap in the future, in which case you can swap in the future. So no worries about that. For people who are leveling without an event character, you can get your buff swap set from Operation Hope. It will take you about 2 days, and it'll be pretty quick, pretty easy, pretty free. And then your title, avatar, creature will take your time, take a lot of gold investment unless you want to swipe. I'm trying to be as transparent here as possible. Once again, I bought this for gold, swiped for this, and then this was given to me. And then the plat emblems, I believe I just bought off the market with farming gold. So I'll cover emblems on a different video. The next one will be on insignias and talismans. So there's that. And also a quick tip. As you can see, this equipment's on here, and I'm carrying it on me. And just as a reminder, since I didn't cover it in the video before, in order to equip it, as in put it on here, you're going to press select, and you're going to click on each of the gear. So if, for example, if I take off these, and I'm going to press select, as you can see, the level dropped because the accessories of course are on a +3, right? So press select, click, 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 confirm. And once it's confirmed, it's locked in, it'll be there. And to all those people that don't know, you can actually just slam them into your save, and the set will still take effect. So this will, number one, save you on weight, and number two, save you on inventory space. Granted, as you can see, my inventory is complete doo-doo because I came back to the game not that long ago, and I need to delete most of these items. But anyways, that's pretty much everything for the buff swap set, the buff enhancement system. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll try my best to answer all of them. And I want to give a quick shout out to the 80% DFO Discord once again, to Mung as well. That is, in my opinion, the best DFO Discord, and the resources in there. They don't really know I'm making this video, but anyways, I hope you found this video useful. Go join the Discord. I'll put the link down in the description, and I will see you in the next video, which should come up pretty soon after this one anyways. So take care and have fun. Oh, quick PS, I did want to mention, take your time with the entire game and with these sets because it'll take you a lot of time. Don't feel pressured to swipe to get power. It's a marathon, it's not a race. Comparing yourself to other players sucks, in my opinion. No offense to those that do, or no offense to those other players. It's just when you compare yourself to others, it's and you see yourself are weaker or struggling, you're gonna feel bad, right? Don't feel bad. It's a game. Enjoy it, right? If you need help, ask for it. People will more than likely help you with it. So just try your best to have fun, take your time, improve your gear over time, and be proud and happy about that, you know? No need to let anyone put you down and whatnot. But anyways, with that all being said, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.